Well, GC Performance calls out Envy and Zip hookless rims. Now, Envy and Zip have committed into the technology of hookless rims, and as far as I'm aware, that's all they're offering. They've discontinued all of the other brands and they're offering better technology. It's better puncture protection, you get better rolling resistance, and the hookless are cheaper. So they're offering all of these benefits right up in this new technology. But there has been a new instance, and even I previously have called out the technology. So let's roll our intro and let's have a little bit more of a conversation about hookless rims and also GC Performance's comments. Well, hookless rims now have got to a point where they've been adapted for road cycling. And what they've done is they've got a very wide internal section between the hookless rims. So when you put the tire on the rim, you're getting a nice aero shape. And this is one of the benefits that they're saying with this technology. And I cannot knock that. That's absolutely 100%. The interface there on those new tires is extremely nice, even though I've got some tubular tires that are very similar to the width. The transition's just not as smooth as these new hookless rims. So that part there, they've got very, very good. But I think that something that also people have commented on my channel, and I've noticed myself with having even tubular rims that are that wide, is that the actual rim becomes more vulnerable because you haven't got anything protecting the sides, so stones or anything that it may slide down, it's going to hit the rim. Now, with something like a tubular, you have that section that supports it in the center. There's a cross section there. And even with a hooked rim, you've got like a base, a plate there, even though you might argue it is a little bit not as strong as a hookless. That's what the manufacturers say, but I don't know if I fully agree with that. I think that the strength there probably is similar. But the problem with the hookless is because there's no angular points, I do believe it becomes weaker to point impacts. And we've seen with Shane Miller, he had one rim from Zip that got a crack and it traveled right into the main part of the rim and it wouldn't hold any air. And we're on GC Performance channel, which I will link at the end of this video, so you can just tap on that and go and watch it. There was a pro, he goes down a pothole. What I would have imagined is that the tire bottomed because they have to run a lower pressure on these hookless rims. The actual rim has hit the ground, it's bottomed out, and what it's done is it's caused the tire to lose pressure and fail or burp, or it came off the rim. Basically, it didn't just burp, he lost the whole tire. Now, can you imagine if you hit that pothole and you was going down a hill or whatever? He didn't come off the bike as such as fall on the deck, but it could end up in there. And this is what GC Performance is calling it. It goes, why would you go to these rims when we're seeing these incidences from these rims and it could result in an accident? Even though the risk may be small, the risk is higher than older technology. Older technologies are more reliable and more proven. And these hookless rims, I believe that straight up bit there, it's more, it might be made as strong as the hooked, as I said like this, but the hooked rim give you some fracture support. Because it's curled like this, if you hit it, it's the crack fracture, I would believe, could be a little bit better than the actual thing, because what we're seeing is that these things are being hit, and also because they're making the tires come out like this from the rim, they're more susceptible to having strikes from stones or other objects that you may come across on the side of the road. And what this is doing is damaging those parts or causing a stress factor or a crack that is traveling down the rim. And of course, once the rim's cracked, they won't hold any pressure. And then of course, you've got to run the tire at a lower pressure, but that's probably not such a bad thing if the bike and the tire is much larger, because then you've got the extra volume in there. The tyre will be able to run at lower pressure, even people that are heavier. But if you're running, you know, like a 28 or 25, maybe not. But I would probably say if you was running these hookless, you would need to run the appropriate size for that tyre, otherwise you're going to lose the aero benefit, which is one of the pluses you get with these hookless rims. Well, anyway, guys, go check out GC Performance. He's got some good points to make, and of course, him being a mechanic would see these coming into his shop, and he hasn't got a very positive opinion of them, nor have I. We're aligned beautifully, us two, on that, and yeah, go and have a look at what he's got to say. And anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it, and I'll see you next